Hello again, Andy at Westport Machine Works. As you can see behind me, I have another Shaftmaker. This one's a Shaftmaker HD. It's ready to be wrapped and shipped. But before I do that, I wanted to go over all the tooling that comes with the machine. And this will be tooling that is included with the machine that you need to operate the machine with. So let's go over that. Okay, so first up we have your weld gun holder and your dial indicator stand and your stop block. And I'm going to show you what the stop block and the weld gun holder do right now. So your stop block is how you're going to stop the tailstock from pushing back on you when you're pressing a drive shaft together. And how it works is it has the gear teeth, and in the middle of the machine has a gear rack. And when you slide this in and push it forward, it hits a tang, and then you drop it into the gear rack, and then that stops the tailstock when you put hydraulic pressure on the drive shaft. To get it out, simply pull it out. The weld gun holder, it's adjustable up and down and in and out for your different size drive shaft tubing. And how it works is you just slide it in to the slot, push it forward, and you got a little brass screw there. You just lock that down, and then your weld gun goes right into this holder right here. And moving down the line here, you have your hydraulic foot pump. It has the quick coupler here to plug into the back of the hydraulic cylinder, and it's also plumbed with your for your air fitting line there. Next up we have fixture bolts. These are flanged bolts, 3/8 and 5/16. Some of them are an Allen style that will take this wrench, and the others will take the ratchet wrench here, which is double-sided for both size 3/8 and 5/16. And next up here is going to be your driveline weights. So we supply you with 20 of the most popular sizes. That's DLW 1 through 6. And the Velcro straps here are what you use to strap the weights onto the tubing. And that way you can easily rotate them around when you're fine-tuning your balance. Next up are the tube stands. The tube stands simply fit into the slot of the machine and are adjusted with these spacers. And these spacers are marked for the OD of the tubing. So if you're working on a 2-inch tube, you would grab the 2-inch spacers and place them in between the base and the V stand. Next up is your wrench. This is for tightening the tailstock down, and I'll show you that right now. So on the tailstock you have these 2 bolts, and that clamps the tailstock down to the bed after you place the stop block in the back here like I showed you. So that's what this wrench is for. It's just simply for tightening that down once you're ready for pressing. And here we have these are going to be your leveling feet. There are 5 of them, so 2 will go on each leg and 1 is for the center of the machine. And then this is going to be your air tool oil. It's basically for oiling your bearings on the machine. You want to use a very light oil. Try not to use any kind of heavy engine oil. Oiling your bearings should be done here with the provided squirt bottle, and you can just put a few drops in the bearing, front and back, and on the headstock also. It's also going to be used for your tailstock here. These are the oilers, and you can always put some on the way next to the way wipers, front and back, to help with adjusting the tailstock up and down. And this is the ground hook. You would clamp your ground on here from your welding machine, and then you place the hook over the drive shaft. That's the best way to ground. You don't want to clamp onto the machine. That could induce some arcing in the bearings. So make sure your drive shafts have a clean spot on the tubing, and place this hook right over the top of it. And so next up here we have the bearing shields, and they're labeled headstock and tailstock. Now what they're for is when you're doing grinding on the drive shaft, you want to place those right over the bearing, and then that will protect the bearing from debris, so when you're grinding and welding. And we also provide you with some rubber protection mats, and these mats typically you'll place them right under the spindle when you're bolting on fixtures or putting a drive shaft in the machine, taking it off. In case something dropped, you would protect the ways of the machine with these rubber protection mats. Okay, these two items. This is the phasing tool. It's called your spline level base. So it's adjustable, it slides back and forth, and comes with the protractor level here. And if you watch some of our training videos on our website, you'll see how this is used. But it's for making sure you have your weld yoke and your spline yoke phased together or leveled together. And so that's what that's for. This inside the bag here is our press up plate. It'll be for when you're pressing a shaft together. If it's an open face tube, it will mate against this outer surface. If you're pressing in, say, a splined yoke that has a center in the end of it, that's what the center point is for. And the head and the tail stock have dial indicators already mounted in there. And last but not least is your machine manual that will come with the machine. Thanks for watching.